Hello and welcome to That Was Golf. My name is Calum MacVicar. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of the Weekly Review, where we have a look at all the golfing highlights from last week. We start this week on the Ladies European Tour, where it was the PIF Saudi Ladies International, held at Riyadh Golf Club in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Winning here was Charlie Hull. The Ladies European Tour kicked off at Riyadh Golf Club this weekend, with Charlie Hull claiming her 5th victory on the tour. The world number 5 began her final round 3 shots behind the leaders, but a final round 65 7 under par, which saw Hull shoot 5 under on the back 9, propelled her to the top of the leaderboard and set the clubhouse lead for the field to chase. Bogeys on the 17th hole for chasers Akai, EY and Cassandra Alexander dashed any chances of equaling Hull's score of 19 under, with the pair finishing on 18 under par. Next up on the Ladies European Tour is a string of 4 tournaments in Australia, starting with the Ford Women's NSW Open at the end of February. Final top 10 in Riyadh was first place and winning the tournament on 19 under, Charlie Hull. Tied second on 18 under was Akai EY and Cassandra Alexander. Tied fourth on 17 under was Carlota Seganda and Hai Jin Choi. Tied 6th on 16 under was Mimi Rhodes, Ina Yoon and Nasa Hatoaka, and tied 9th on 15 under was Ji-won Ko, Haijun Park and Chizzy EY. We next head to the Professional Golf Tour of India, where it was the DP World Players Championship held at Kutub Golf Course in New Delhi, India. Winning here was Honey Baisoya. Honey Baisoya took out his 8th victory on the PGTI 5 years since his last on the tour. On his way to victory, Baisoya recorded rounds of 63, 65, 64 and 65 at the par 70 Kutub Golf Course, finishing on a score of 23 under par for the tournament, 3 shots clear of Kshitij Navid Kaul in second place. Next, over to the All Thailand Golf Tour, where it was the Singa Isan Open, held at Singa Park Khon Kaen Golf Club in Khon Kaen, Thailand. Winning here was Dantai Bunma. A 3-player playoff was needed to decide the 19th edition of the Singa Isan Open. Dantai Bunma, Pavit Tangkambol Prasert and Pum Sakson Sin all finished on totals of 16 under par for the tournament, with Bunma eventually claiming victory. This is Bunma's 5th win on the All Thailand Golf Tour and his 3rd victory at the Singa Isan Open. Over to the PGA Tour, where it was the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, held at Pebble Beach Golf Links and Spyglass Hill Golf Course in Pebble Beach, California, USA. Winning here was Colin Morikawa. An incredibly wild and windy weekend at Pebble Beach saw a return to the winner's podium for Morikawa, almost 2.5 years since his last on the PGA Tour. Despite late charges in the final round from Minwoo Lee, Sepp Straka and Scottie Scheffler, who shot a round of 9 under 63, which included 3 bogeys, Morikawa managed to hold his game together enough to produce the win. Impressive stuff from the American, considering his final 2 holes included a bogey on 17, putting him into a joint score of 21 under with Straka and Minwoo, and then a 20-minute wait on the 18th fairway as Jacob Bridgerman decided how to play up from the beach in the group in front. When the green cleared, Morikawa's shot found the edge of the green. He then proceeded to putt to 2 feet and made a simple tap-in for birdie, giving him a narrow lead but an all-important victory. On his way to the title, Morikawa shot the joint lowest round of the weekend, a 62-10 under par in round 3, which he shared with round 1 leader Ryo Hisatsune. Over to the PGA Tour Champions, where it was the Chubb Classic, held at Tiburon Golf Club Black Course in Naples, Florida, USA. Winning here was David Toms. Winning on the PGA Tour Champions for the first time since 2023, David Toms overcame a tumultuous final round that saw 2 double bogeys in the opening 6 holes. Heading into the final round with a 3-shot lead, Toms battled through his final front 9, dropping 2 shots and sitting at 2 over for the round. A much tidier turnaround on the back 9 left him on +1 for the round, 13 under par overall, with a clutch birdie on his final hole of play being the difference between himself and 3 players 1 shot behind on 12 under par. Over to the Hotel Planner Tour, where it was the NTT Data Pro-Am held at Fancourt Golf Estate in George, South Africa. Winning here was MJ Dafew. Round 1 of the NTT Data Pro-Am was cancelled due to persistent rainfall, meaning a 54-hole event for the players in South Africa. South African native MJ Dafew was eventually crowned winner, with rounds of 67, 64 and 69, bringing him to a total of 16 under par for the 3 rounds. 4 shots clear of 4 players in tied second place. Dafew's closest contender was American Hunter Logan, but contrasting fortunes on the 18th and final hole of play made the difference, with Logan finding the water and settling for a double bogey, whilst Dafew pitched on the green and sealed his weekend with an eagle. This is Dafew's first win on the Hotel Planner Tour and sees him move to 3rd place on the Road to Mallorca rankings. Final top 10 in South Africa was first place and winning the tournament on 16 under, MJ Dafew. Tied second on 12 under was Bryce Easton, Max Kennedy, Hunter Logan and Kieran Vincent. Tied 6th on 11 under was Jacko Allers, Dean Germishois and Sam Hutsby. And tied 9th on 10 under was Luke Brown, Benjamin Follett-Smith, James Mayer DeBecco and Henny Otto. Next up, we have the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, presented by the R&A, held at Royal Wellington Golf Club, Upper Hutt in New Zealand. Winning here was Yunseo Yang. 16-year-old Yunseo Yang was the runaway winner of the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific, becoming the first Korean to win the title and the first player to win wire-to-wire. Shooting rounds of 64, 67, 72 and 69 on the par 72 Royal Wellington course, Yang finished on a score of 16 under par, 8 shots clear of fellow Korean Sun Oh in second place. For her win, Yang will gain exemption into the AIG Women's Open at Royal Lytham in St. Anne's, the Amundi Evian Championship in France and the Chevron Championship in the United States, as well as entry to a handful of elite amateur events. And finally this week we head to what was undoubtedly the story of the weekend on the Live Golf League, where it was Live Golf Adelaide at the Grange Golf Club in Adelaide, South Australia, Australia. Winning here was Anthony Kim. Adelaide was treated to a fairy tale story this Valentine's weekend with a comeback story for the ages. Almost 6,000 days since his last professional golf victory, Anthony Kim won Live Golf Adelaide in front of thousands of jubilant Aussie fans. The final round of the tournament had originally been billed as the Rumble Down Under, with John Ram and Bryson DeChambeau both sitting on 19 under, and Kim 5 shots back on 14 under at the start of Sunday's round. However, it would be neither of the modern heavyweights of golf showing their might, with Bryson making 4 bogeys in his front 9 and Ram sitting on even par for the round, whilst Kim was marching up the leaderboard, shooting 4 under on his front 9, 1 shot behind Ram heading into the final 9 holes. Kim pulled deep into the memory bank of his electric golf ability, going on a run of 4 straight birdies from the 12th to the 15th hole, every fist pump bigger than the last and every roar from the crowd louder than the last one. A score of 2 under on the back 9 for Bryson to finish 17 under and 1 under for Ram to finish 20 under left them well behind Anthony Kim, who shot 9 under in the final round, ending on a score of 23 under par. Kim savoured every moment of his final putt on 18, surrounded by his family who have helped him overcome all his setbacks over the last 14 years. And for another week, that was golf. Thank you so much for listening into this episode. Wherever you get your podcasts from, be sure to like, share and subscribe to stay up to date with all future episodes, released every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.